I have a number of files here that are first attempt at trying to write tests for the homework. This file that you see here called parsing.browser is meant to be used in the browser. There's another one that's called parsing.node that's meant to be used at the command line. And if we look at the browser one, you'll see that it just simply defines a number of functions that take an argument. So the very first one is the HTML string, the second one is a node list, and so on. And those correspond to the components that I spoke about in class. Now, if we look at the tests, and they're inside of this test directory here, go ahead and put it in the same place, you'll see that I have here an instance of chai, then I define the long HTML string. And this is the task that people would run against, in this case, their browser, their parsing browser code. And I define a number of testing variables, and the rest are Mocha Chai. Mocha is the runner, Chai is the what's actually doing the test. And so all of these will return true or not. So for example, the first one, I'm asking them to return a div, and then I check to see that it is in fact a div. And so on. Some tests that I've created, none of them are very good. But they're meant to be placeholders. So if I go up a directory, you'll see as well that I have a file called runner. Now this file, if we look at it in the editor, you'll see that it pulls in Mocha, and it pulls in this from those directories that get created when we install those packages. It pulls in chai, it does some setup. After that, then we're pulling in the code that I was just showing. So in this case, parsing browser, and then the running of the test. The very last step is Mocha run, and this runs through all of the tests in the test directory. Well, in this case, in the test.js file. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. I'll drag this into here, and as you can see there are a number of tests that ran. I have 7 passes, 0 failures. This one took a little bit longer than most, I guess, but all of those have passed. The workflow is still pretty cumbersome. I think we need to figure out how to make this smoother. I'll also like to capture everything that is taking place every time students check something. And so one of the things that was suggested to me was that when we run the check, we could write to the repository, and that would give us insight into the diffs. We'd sort of do that behind the scenes to make it less cumbersome. We also could provide some feedback back to the students. However, we have to figure out how to do this in a smooth way. This is just a very first cut. I'll go ahead and share this code so you can get a place to start. So for that, I'll go ahead and stop. Bye.